It took years for White Knight Chronicles to come to Western Shores. When it finally did, there was a lot of hype. I mean, travelling through huge, detailed environments and transforming into giant knights to destroy oversized monsters, who wouldn't want that? Well, we all wanted that, but what was given to us was something a tad disappointing. White Knight Chronicles has been criticised, and rightfully so, but there was still enough to keep me happily playing while 30 odd hours ticked by. I found White Knight Chronicles 2 in the bargain bin and thought it would be a good idea to give the series a shot. I was pleasantly surprised to find that White Knight Chronicles 2 has both games on the one disc. With that said, the series probably should have been one single game, as the first installment seamlessly merges into the second right when things are getting good. I began my White Knight Chronicles experience by creating a character named Peshmerga, you know, like the badass Dark Knight from Suikoden. I then started the game with every intention of taking this godly warrior to the depths of hell and back. The character begins his journey as a new employee at a wine store. Sure, that's awesome, I love wine. Anyway, my boss then orders myself, a young boy named Leonard, and his childhood friend Yuli to deliver a load of wine to the castle of Bellandor.
This is a momentous day for Apache Wines. The court picked us to supply wine for a party at the castle. We gotta do it right and earn the shop a bona fide royal commendation.
All was good, except for the fact that my hero was never again, not even once, referenced in the game. Nope, he wasn't spoken to, looked at, or even acknowledged ever again. He just kinda, stands there in the background with that stupid, clueless look on his face. You see, this hero of mine has only one purpose, and that is to link the offline story with the online gameplay. Sure, well done for attempting online play, but couldn't they have done this better? I felt awkward for this guy most of the time. Anyway, back to the banquet. After the delivery is complete, the group decide to party on because apparently no one had a problem with a bunch of peasants attending a royal party. This party is soon raided by an evil organization called the Magi, who kill the king and kidnap Princess Cisna. During the commotion, Leonard finds a giant suit of armor called an Incorruptus and ends up merging with it, which is kind of a big deal. He then proceeds to destroy all enemies in style and then sets out with his companions to save the princess. Oh yeah, and my hero, Peshmerga, he decides to tag along too. You thought Mario was bad at losing princesses? Well, Leonard is worse. The entire plot revolves around nearly saving her, losing her, then nearly saving her again, then losing her again. This gets a bit old, but apart from this, the plentiful twists and turns and discovering the secrets of these giant Incorruptuses is engaging enough. The plot has potential, but wasn't executed as well as it should have been. At least White Knight Chronicles is presented well. The towns are all unique, quite detailed and filled with life. The huge environments also live up to this standard, which is good because you'll be running through them a lot. The soundtrack and voice acting is also given the thumbs up. It seems to be so common for multiple characters in JRPGs to be voiced with cringe-worthy voice actors, but White Knight Chronicles does a pretty good job here.
Hello, happy to assist, Chief. By the way, if I happen to doze off again, kindly wake me up before this beastie remembers I forgot to feed it breakfast and turns me into a late lunch.
He's kinda weird, but he gets the job done.
The bulk of the gameplay requires you to run around massive environments as a single chosen character and attack the many enemies within the area. Each character can unleash a load of attacks, whether they be basic attacks or attacks that consume MP or action chips, which regenerate after a certain amount of attacks. While there are loads of attacks to learn, they each fall into 3 categories of damage: thrust, slash, and pierce. Most battles will involve finding which one of these the enemy is weak against, then continually spamming it until they're dead. Like I said before, these environments are huge and some will take over an hour to get through. That's over an hour of spamming a single MP-free move that is most effective. Yup, this can become very tiresome and fast, both mentally and physically. My poor thumb wasn't happy about this. These meaningless smaller battles are occasionally broken up with large-scale battles that encourage you to turn into your Incorruptus. At first, it's pretty cool fighting with these guys. Oh yeah, Xenogears all over again. This is until you realise, once again, that you just spam a single MP-free move that the enemy is weak against. Doing anything else, such as using your MP, is pointless, as this MP ticks down when in Incorruptus mode, and when it reaches 0, you're back to a helpless little peasant. Oh look, there's my hero again. He's still tagging along for some reason. The one feature worth praise here is the ability to customize your own combos. Your characters will learn dozens of different attacks, and these can be strategically placed into combo attacks and unleashed in battle at the expansive action chips. However, the same problem exists here, in that you'll want a single combo to consist entirely of thrust attacks, pierce attacks, or slash attacks, as it's a complete waste to use attacks that the enemy is not weak against. What else is wrong with this system, you ask? Well, the AI are often useless, but completely amazing healers that will make it very difficult for you to die. You also can't seamlessly switch between playable characters. It should be a single button, but instead, you're required to go through a menu. And finally, when controlling the Incorruptus, you are presented with a drunk cameraman. He has no idea what he's doing. Your characters get stronger by spending their ability points in 8 skill trees. This is a basic concept, but executed poorly due to it being pointless to spend your ability points in 2 weapon trees, as you can only equip 1 weapon at a time. The only reason to branch out to a second tree is if you want a healer or a mage. Spending these points within the tree is overly simplified. Purchase a move and another is unlocked. Eventually, you'll be able to unlock them all if you decide to not focus on magic. I certainly didn't feel the need to. Did you see that? My hero is still hanging around. Isn't his mother getting worried? When not saving the princess or spamming the X button, you can take on errands, hunts, or quests. Errands are time consuming and require running around the world delivering items to NPCs. I'll pass on that one. Hunts are what you would expect. Throw some stronger enemies somewhere on the map and then hunt them down for a reward. Then there's quests. These are time consuming, but are required to obtain some of the strongest equipment. These quests are intended to be played online, however, you can still play them on your own. Here, you're forced to use the hero you created at the start of the game. Hallelujah, Peshmerga! You finally have a purpose! It would be difficult to say that White Knight Chronicles is anything better than an average game. Some aspects, such as the game's presentation and some of the twists and turns, are pulled off quite well, but the poor gameplay mechanics and the lack of brainpower required when customizing your character is where the game truly suffers. Still, I do want to know how this tale ends, so I'll certainly be playing White Knight Chronicles 2 in the near future. This is Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. Support this channel by liking, subscribing and checking out some of my other videos. See you next time.